Hello, everybody. It's Ed Rosenberg, and this afternoon I am speaking to Chad Rubin, the CEO of Skubana. Chad, how are you doing this afternoon?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me on, Ed.
Okay, my pleasure, Chad. First of all, Chad, do you want to tell me a little bit about your background?
Background, yeah, I'll give you the 30 seconds on me. Was on Wall Street, covered internet stocks, doing equity research, giving hedge funds to investors to buy, sell short, Amazon or eBay, and a few other stocks. I got laid off in 2009. My parents had a vacuum store that was going out of business, and I bought their inventory and started listing it on Amazon and on Volusion, which was the shopping cart of choice at the time. And fast forward, built that business to a $10 million business, and then started Skubana, which is a software to automate the entire operations of my business.
Right. So, and you're still running the same business using Skubana.
Yeah, with one employee. That's the secret sauce, right? So I have one employee, and the software has automated every other function of it.
Now, you told me in person a few times that you have to have your business, the operation side, automated, and what should not be automated. So, you want to talk to that a little bit about it?
So I'm a huge fan of automation. I'll be speaking at the Prosper Show on automation and outsourcing. But you want to take low value activities and automate them with technology or with outsourced labor. So for me, I outsourced a lot of the low value activities, but a lot of things I've automated with my technology. So everything you need to run your business operationally, whether it's a 3PL integration or whether it's shipping labels or whether it's inventory or whether it's actually business intelligence to know if you're going to make money. I would say the biggest one that we do is algorithmic purchase orders. So we create a purchase order awaiting your approval and with a nice bow on top, and your purchasing team just goes in and it's like, okay, I got to go buy this pen right here. I'm going to go buy it.
So it's hooked into your inventory, and as you're running low, it creates a purchase order.
Exactly. Based on rules, based on your velocity, your lead time, your mins, everything that a whole purchasing team does in-house, we've automated with technology.
Right, yeah, that seems to make a lot of sense. Because the biggest question which I get asked
Mhm.
all the time is how do I find an item to make money on Amazon? So walk me through the steps. Because I've watched a lot of your videos and it makes a lot of sense to me. And it really, so if you can summarize what you said in a few of those videos, like in a few minutes.
Sure. So the biggest problem that I see sellers on Amazon today making is the fact that they just copy other products that exist on the market. I say it time and time again. Amazon doesn't need another Silpat silicon mat. They don't need another garlic press, and they don't need a spatula. Okay, what they do need are products that solve problems. So I try to create products that solve problems in the market where there's holes and deficiencies. And so I focus, especially on my book. I wrote this in my book, Cheaper, Easier, Direct. I focus on solving problems, and one of the ways I do that is I look at Amazon reviews. Not all the BS good ones that are unverified, but the ones that come after somebody stops promoting the product on AMZ Tracker. The one that where it's sort of hidden and embedded, saying, "Oh, this pen is missing a cap," or "These shorts are too short," or "The yarmulke keeps falling off my head." Whatever it is, and I try to make the product better and innovate on it, so I do better, cheaper, and direct to consumer.
So in other words, you find an item, a high-ranking item, you search for the bad reviews.
I searched for bad reviews. I looked at the customer narrative. But I think that also another mistake that's being made is that people are so focused on best-selling ranked categories, they're not going after niches of niches of niches. So for me, I'm really into getting in and diving into niches, or even going into Reddit posts and going into niches on Reddits and being like, oh, you really like flying drones? What's the thing that breaks the most on the drone that needs to be replaced? It's a problem that you're solving. So it's a push process versus a pull process versus a push process.
Right. So in other words, you're not reinventing the bicycle, you're just making a little bit of an adjustment.
Exactly. I'm putting gold-plated hubcaps on that Toyota Camry.
Right. Now, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's a little bit easier for me and you because we already have sort of a niche, and then like I used to always sell amplifiers, and which was not waterproof, so and everyone wanted it waterproof, so I made a waterproof case. Or for you in vacuums, whatever you're doing, So if someone wants to open up an Amazon account and knows nothing about any niche, how would they start?
I would go after your passion. So do something that you know a lot about, something that you live and breathe and love. So for me, I wasn't so in love with vacuum filters, but I love coffee. So I really started pursuing coffee and combining what I knew about e-commerce and coffee together, mixing it together to make it happen. And so I encourage others that are, let's just say you're a big rollerblading fanatic, you know a lot about rollerblading. Well, that should be a good target market for you to approach if you're looking to get into Amazon.
Hmm. You mentioned about you said that the low value work you would outsource. What would you consider high value? Like it's
High
okay.
value, the thing that you should not outsource and focus your attention on is listings. Everybody in this industry looks to automate listings and sort of pray and spray, put everything out there onto every channel, all the same content. The truth of the matter is that every channel is different. And you need to qualitatively think about what you're putting out there on Amazon and your listings, your features, your bullet points, your titles, your keywords, and think about what you're putting on Jet and think about what you're putting on your own website.
Why is that? I mean, if it sells on Amazon, why wouldn't it sell on Jet? The same thing.
So first of all, there's a few things. One is duplicate content. Google has a rule, right, that if you have duplicate content, that it gets confused when you have duplicate content. And Amazon has such a strong page rank that it will literally supersede all the other pages that have duplicate content. Sort of there may only be one sort of mentality. And so particularly especially if you're building a shopping cart off of Amazon as well at the same time, you want to make sure that people are coming to your website and they actually care about the content. It's not just a vending machine approach. When they come like to your website to buy, I think it's motorcycle helmets, right?
Yeah, accessories. Okay.
Accessories. You want to actually drop a tremendous amount of value and put videos and put content in there, which is different from Amazon, particularly because you're the brand owner.
Well, I find when I send a newsletter on my website, I get a few orders on Amazon for those items. So I know I myself a lot of times I just like buying on Amazon.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why Amazon is so strong, right? 40% of product searches happen on Amazon today. But there's a ton of things happening off of Amazon today. So I'd have to look at your website. I'm curious, does it convert well? Is it fast? Does it have good content? Do you actually create videos that your consumers should watch on your products?
Right, but even if they do, like, don't people like to check out and buy on Amazon?
Amazon is great social proof, but Jet just got bought for $3 billion. Okay, Walmart is the top internet. It's like the top internet company in the United States. People do shop off of Amazon. It could be a different customer, but there's tons of people shopping off of Amazon.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, what percent of your business would you say is on Amazon?
I would say it used to be 99%, and with a suspension or two, I've been able to, and so with a suspension or two, I had this idea that I needed to be across every marketplace as many as I can. So now I'm on 17 different channels, and I've been able to get Amazon to be about 50%, 50 to 60% of my business. I think that's a very healthy number to be at. But I don't think it's healthy to be 100% Amazon. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's not healthy because then you get one customer complains that it was used, and it could be history.
Mm-hmm.
I also think the resale value of an Amazon business is significantly less than a business which has traffic from all over the place. Is that correct?
Yeah, you get a much higher multiple on a business that's diversified, right? Like a stock would you ever invest in a stock that had one customer? So people are investing their life savings into Amazon, and Amazon is your one customer. And that's why I really wholly believe in a holistic way of selling across many different channels, being everywhere you can on the monopoly board.
Right. Okay. So now, how do you go? So funny, you found a coffee maker, or which does something a little bit different, or you said like a drone which always breaks, and you found a way to make an app break. Then how do you go from there to actually bringing it into your warehouse?
So you find a problem. There's a lot of different steps in between the process to make sure you're validating the product, to make sure there's sell-through on it, that people are searching it. And I go through I don't think we have enough time to do it today in the interview, but I go through it in my book in quite detail. And so The next step is you want to find a factory to make the product. So I like to go through Alibaba and see what's happening on Alibaba. Not all those companies on Alibaba today are truly factories. A lot of them are trading companies. You have to weed out a lot of those factories on Alibaba to find the rich factories that actually produce the goods, because I'm all about getting as close as I can to the factory and as close to the consumer as I possibly can. So going direct to consumer, but also going direct to the factory. I don't
But
want any middlemen.
right, but with one employee, I mean, you're doing that.
No, my employee is doing that. That's a high value activity, right?
That's
My employee will authorize purchase orders in Skubana. My employee will do all the sourcing that I need to happen, all the competitive research that's needed to happen. But all the low value repetitive tasks, like a lot of people will use all these spreadsheets when they're running their e-commerce business. They don't have any intelligence. Like it'll take them days to put together all this intelligence. But instead, we have a software that puts everything together in one place, no matter how many marketplaces you're selling on. And I think that's really the secret sauce. Being able to diagnose your business the same way a doctor can diagnose you in a couple of seconds. Our software does that for all your marketplaces and channels so you can make sure you're making money.
mm-hmm. But you don't believe in going through like an agent to source your merchandise.
I like to go direct to factory if I can find the factory. Sometimes agents are helpful because you can't find a product. It's an obscure product. But I personally like to go direct to the factory.
You like to go direct, and you don't feel it's necessary. And I mean, you have all these product quality issues, and you handle that yourself.
So that's the other thing is when you're buying from China, you got to make sure that you're getting a lot of samples. A lot of people fall into the trap of buying one sample from China and verifying it with one sample. I like to buy 10 or 15 samples to make sure there's consistent quality across all the products. That's one. That's right. I like to also go to China and shake my factory's hand. I like to go have a beer with the factory floor manager. I like to go have a foot massage too with them. Right? We'll spend the whole evening out together having fun, but that's also part of relationship building that I think you don't get here in the US. That's really required when you're doing business in China
And
or
have
in Asia.
I got very, since this group, I learned a lot about manuals and packaging and all of that. How do you handle that? Because that's also, you're saying you have one employee, and I mean, which is incredible because you basically, your operations is completely machine run. But how do you handle that? The packaging, the manuals, and all of that. Those from that one employee, or that's outsourced?
By the way, I have one employee in the US. I've got 2 customer support reps. She also has two virtual assistants that are helping her. So again, we try to teach as much as we can to others and build value to others that we're outsourcing. But she's doing all the really higher value activities like a manual. She has design experience. She'll put a manual together, but we don't try to recreate the wheel. Like if there's someone else that has a good manual that's out there, we may adopt some of those best practices.
How about doing the social proof stuff? It doesn't have to be only on Amazon, like AMZ Tracker and all of that. You think that helps?
I'm not sure what you're referring to on AMZ Tracker. I have my own process for validating to make sure I'm going to make the right decision when I'm going into a product. So
No. What I mean is to build up. Let's say okay. So now you got the manuals, you got the product, and now you have it in your warehouse. It took a few months or whatever. So now what? You just post it on Amazon. You're not going to sell it. How do you?
Well, you bring it in, you either ship it, or you can put it on a freight container or do LTL, right? So you bring it into this country, and then you start building quality listings, really, really good quality listings that are robust, not just on Amazon, but for me, I would want to be on everywhere, but I would build listings across Amazon and off-channel that are robust, that are unique, and I would make sure, if it's Amazon, I would make sure it's FBA. I'd probably add a review company in there, like AMZ Tracker has a review software, and like you mentioned, and I would do sponsored ads immediately, and I would push it up the ranks on Amazon with their algorithm.
Right. So you think it's a good idea to do these giveaway for reviews?
Yeah, you got to give to get.
Right. I mean, I would be happy not to do it, but I think you have to do it because everybody else is doing it.
Well, yeah, it's social proof. If you look at a garlic press and it has 3,000 reviews and another garlic press has 1, which one are you going to buy?
Right. Right. Exactly.
So you have to play the game, but you have to play the game much smarter than others. It's not just about reviews anymore. right? It's about what are your images look like? What do your bullet points look like? Are you pushing the conversion? Are you actually putting promotions in your listings for different quantities of people that are purchasing the product? There's a lot more to it than just, oh, I'm going to launch a product and like let's get some reviews and that's it.
Right, right. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay, anything else you'd like to say about especially this private label space and how to be successful?
Uh, I mean, right now, I think we're in a very interesting environment on Amazon where there's herds of people that are being trained to compete and copy products. There's a lot of BS that's out there in this world, and I think it's important to in this environment, only the strong will survive. And you're not going to survive if you're copying other people. So I think my words of advice that I give to everybody in my network is to look at vulnerabilities around your life and your business and try to execute on those issues, on those problems that you find, and try to solve problems before you come up with the product.
Right, yeah, I definitely agree. You have to find the need. If you're trying to stuff it down people's face, so then it's going to be a lot harder. But you have to find something which people need or which you need, and then bring it to the market. I definitely agree. Okay, Chad, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we do this many more times. It was really great.
All right. Thanks, Ed.